Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Thursday. And first and foremost, even though it is a dreary yet rainy day where I am, I'm still very positive, and I want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to everybody who could be listening on this morning. And as we all know, the Lakers took on the Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday in Oklahoma City. Both teams being on the second night of a back-to-back. And I don't know if you saw my pregame, but in my pregame show, I said that, I can't even barely name anybody on the OKC Thunder team, except for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is really coming into his own, and I think is going to be a pretty good player, maybe an all-star level player. But in the Deep West, maybe not make that team until maybe some years to come. But anyway, for the most part, they're the youngest team, average age of 23 years old. And you just really wouldn't expect them to be able to handle a team like the Lakers. And I really wasn't worried about it at all. And on most of the sites that I used to even, bet money on, they weren't even playing the straight up. They was only giving the Lakers, I think, maybe minus 5.5, and I wasn't too comfortable with taking that minus 5.5 because I was like, well, the Lakers might just win by a little bit. Then once the game got started, they had to straight up. I said, they got the straight up, but it was only paying, like, you had to put down $100 just to win like 30. You understand me? Because that's how good it was for the Lakers, especially since they started off, just pulverizing the Oklahoma City Thunder. But man, it was not to be, as we all know, which I'll get into in a moment. But the main thing is, I laid all that money, y'all, and I done lost my money. And I know y'all haters probably happy about it, but please, your boy has money invested and divested across the board in a multiple portfolio, and not just in my betting. So no worries there. But I was winning so much lately, I was starting to think I couldn't lose. So maybe just like the Lakers, I needed to be brought back down to earth. So here I am, walking casually on this planet. But anyway, so the Lakers, man, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna be totally honest with y'all. I laid the money, thought everything was all gravy, and I had some business I needed to tend to, right? So I wasn't even actively watching this because the Lakers had went up by so much. I want to say it was like 41 maybe in the first quarter. 41, they had like a 25-point lead. I wasn't really concerned. So I can't give you the full breakdown of the analysis of what happened in that third quarter that allowed the OKC Thunder just to not just get back in the game, but take the lead. I don't understand how the hell a veteran team that, this shows you how great LeBron James is, because ask yourself a question. Had LeBron James been playing, does this happen? Do they blow such a lead? No. And I don't know. I had to go back and I did catch the very end of the game, and I saw those poor sequences on offense and a pathetic job of coaching by Frank Vogel, which I can get into here in a bit. But I had to break it down by the numbers, and once I broke it down by the numbers, the Lakers was leading in the first half 72-56. They had the 72-56 lead. They should have easily been able to take care of this team. But by the third quarter, the Thunder had erased the deficit. So how do you let a team come back and erase a deficit already? So between the 2 or 3 minute mark in the second quarter, when you was up by 26 points. So from the 2 or 3 minute mark in the third quarter, being up by 26 points, you end up going down, although it was a lucky shot off the glass at the end of the third. Like, makes no sense to me. So y'all put down in the comments, if you watched the game, what the hell happened in the third quarter? What lineups did Frank Vogel have out here to allow this to happen? From what I understand is, and from what I saw, in the highlights and just breaking down some of the film, going back and just re-looking at it in the little time that I could this morning, just kind of re-watching it, I just noticed that there was no ball movement on part of the Lakers, which I'm watching and fast forward, it just looked like they were just giving it to AD, and he living out here on the perimeter, taking jab steps and little jumps. You understand? Jump shots. Like, why are you not living in the paint? You should be feasting on a team like OKC down in the paint. Stop being so scary and get down in that paint and take care of your business. And the Lakers didn't seem like they was moving the ball at all. So then that made me wonder, well, let me go back and take a look at this assist statistic. And lo and behold, what do I see? In the first half, the Lakers had 20 assists. 20 assists. And that's what led to much of their success. They had 20 assists, but in the second half, they only had 9. So less than half of the assists that you had in the first half that you have in the second half. And then you get exploited on the pick and roll on the defensive end. I don't understand how a young team can continue to exploit a team like the Lakers, who should be well capable of handling the pick and roll. But when they do crash to the inside on the pick and roll and kick out to the outside defender, you have to run them off that three-point line. You have to run them off the three-point line, and just basically off what I was seeing, like I said, I didn't get a good really thoroughly breaking it down, but just from what I saw, it seemed to me that was the case. The Lakers, shot 62% in the first half and only shot 38% in the second half. It's a great free throw disparity. It's a discrepancy. I know I know what the hell a discrepancy is. It's early in the morning for me, y'all. I know what a discrepancy is, but it was definitely a different amount. You know what the hell I'm trying to say. The damn free throws was ridiculous. So how did the Lakers, they end up having 14 free throws for the game compared to 29 free throws for OKC? So you mean to tell me a young team like the Oklahoma City Thunder can get to the line 15 more attempts than the Lakers? And to be honest, the Lakers' little BS free throws at the end really should only been 10 free throws if you just really look at it. So they were not being aggressive to be able to get the foul calls. I know it's the second night of a back-to-back and you're a little bit older. I noticed in the defensive rotation at the end of the game, why in the hell do you not pull Carmelo Anthony out instead of continue to have him on the floor? Of course, we all know Malik Monk missed that free throw. I don't know what the coach is telling them in this situation. Why is Russell Westbrook on the previous play before that with 26 or 27 seconds left? I understand you want to preserve time. You want to preserve time and maybe, end up, if that doesn't go in, and get another chance, which you actually ended up doing. But at the end of the day, I just don't see why, you still had plenty of time to penetrate to the hole and cut it to one, and then play a free throw game. They might miss a free throw, and you end up getting the ball back off a turnover. So you had still got a second opportunity. So had you went for the 2, you'd had an opportunity to win the game, being only down by 1. But no, you didn't do that. Instead, Russell Westbrook throws up an ill-advised 3, knowing he's not the greatest three-point shooter. When you have other capable shooters out there, you've been creating all game. So why you not creating now for others? But you want to be the hero at home at your old OKC arena, and that's what you did. So, and everybody don't take it like, listen, I'm just criticizing. If you can't take criticism, then you don't need to listen to the show, or you might not need to play basketball or anything, because what I'm doing is constructive. I'm telling it like it is and how I see it. And Russell Westbrook, he had 10 turnovers for the quadruple, which we knew Russ and LeBron are high turnovers because they high usage. But you have to be able to protect the ball better than that, especially against a young team like the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC was 0-4 coming into this game. They got blew out by lowly Houston Rockets few nights ago by 30 points. By all accounts, any analyst, team, coach, GM, players would say that they probably the worst team in the league. They probably won't win a whole lot of games this year. And this just shows you, like I said, the greatness of LeBron James. Because ain't no way in the hell they would have lost that game with LeBron James, because he would have been orchestrating that offense at the end of the game and making sure that everybody was able to get good shots. And what the Lakers did was they got lackadaisical after they came out and was up by so much that they got to laughing and playing and BSing. and they didn't handle their business. But, it is what it is. Hopefully it's a learning experience for them. The season is still young, so I feel like they can learn from this situation. If they can, then that'll be great, to learn that every possession is important, which they know that. But you know what? When you are that team and those group of players, you have to learn that together. And that way you can have something to look back on if you're in a similar situation. Now, I can see if they were playing the Brooklyn Nets, the Milwaukee Bucks, or somebody like that, and they allowed them to come back from 26 down. That's a difference. But you let one of the worst teams in all of basketball come back and punch you in the mouth. I know a lot of people, and not just me, lost a little bit of bread on that last night. And then at the end of the game, Baisley get the steal. Now, he only a second-year player. I wouldn't say he know the rule. I mean, this is a new younger generation. Like, bro, if you don't want them to score, then stop it. Don't throw the ball away. I mean, I know it was a miscommunication. He could have just dribbled it out. He wasn't thinking. He just got the ball and was happy and went and dunked it. So what? They came down by that much. I could see, okay, if usually when a team been winning by 20, 15, 20, or whatever, and then they go in and rub it in your face and go do that, then that's different when they could have ran it out. But this, I mean, it's still a pretty close game at this point. What, a 4 or 5 point game? So you just want to go down and seal the victory, and that's what he did. So Russ got in his feelings. I know he spoke in the press conference about unwritten rules and whatnot, but at the end of the day, if you don't like it, then just stop it. And I think more than anything, Russ was more so upset with himself than anything else. So, hopefully the Lakers can get it back together. I'm pretty sure they're back at home by now and they having a chance to let this digest. I don't know about LeBron James' ankle. I'm under the assumption that he's still going to rest that ankle because it's the same ankle. And why go out and keep damaging it? And LeBron trying to teach their ass a lesson, kind of like Kobe used to do. He going out and teaching their ass a lesson and saying, look, I'm resting this ankle. If y'all can't beat these lowly teams like this, then what are we doing? And then it build team cohesion too. And then it gives the younger players some time for them to go ahead and learn each other and build chemistry, and also give them the experience that they need, especially players like Austin Reeves, who has, to me, continued to impress. But I don't understand why AD, could not take over a game like this. He had 30 points, but at the end of the day, you should have had 40. Get aggressive, beat the ball down inside in the paint, and take care of business. And this is for the dumb, smooth brain people who always say, well, this was AD team and da-da-da. This goes to show you why, even like I said in yesterday's show, what was the Lakers records without LeBron James? 4-24? Make that 4-25. And that's even with AD, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not just talking about the Brandon Ingram days, that's not what I'm talking about. But either way, I mean, at this point, it is what it is. The Lakers, I think, are now 2-2, so it's still early in the season. It's not, to me, not a huge deal, other than my young bread. That's the main thing that hurt me more than anything. But hey, it is what it is. You cannot win them all. You know what I'm saying? So just always remember that you can't win them all. And even if you lose, to stand tall. You know what I mean? And just ball till you fall, and never stall and brawl if you got to. You know what I'm saying? That's my little quick freestyle. But this has been your boy B New, man. Once again, saying right on to the real. And much love to these haters.